Police say he bilked his victims out of more than $500,000. Thanks to you, he's behind bars.
Behind this razor wire fence are the female prisoners being held here in the Broward County Jail in Florida. Good evening, I'm John Walsh, and welcome to America's Most Wanted. We don't usually associate women with violent crime, but there are over 55,000 women behind bars in the United States. In the state of Tennessee, 44 women are doing time for murder, but there's one killer who belongs behind bars, and she isn't. She's been on the run for almost 25 years. The year was 1966. LBJ was president. The song Wild Thing was top of the charts. And 18-year-old Margot Freshwater was about to make front page news.
I was all alone after Jimmy left and he took my baby away. The least you could have said is, "It's okay, honey, we'll see you through this." But Al did. He stood by me. Maybe you'd let him rot away in there, but I've made up my mind. He's helped me when I needed help, and now that he's in trouble, I'm helping him. So goodbye and good luck, Mother. And don't come looking for us. By the time you read this, I'll be long gone.
October 17th, 1966. Margot Freshwater arrived in Memphis, Tennessee. She'd left her suburban home in Worthington, Ohio, to help the one man she trusted, because now he was the one in trouble. His name was Al Scheller.
I've missed you, Al.
Missed you too, baby.
Are they treating you all right?
Pretty good under the circumstances, yeah. Listen, I need you to help me. All right? I need you to get hold of the lawyer, all right? The fella's name is Nash.
Nash.
Nash. Guy's in hearsay. He's the one to call if you want to beat armed robbery rap. All right? You call him and you make him take my case.
Mr. Nash?
It's Freshwater. Well, well, well. What pleasant surprise to be face to face with such a lovely client. Won't you sit down?
Glenn Nash didn't have the best reputation. He himself had been in some trouble with the law. He still represented criminals primarily. That was his practice. He cruised the jails, so to speak, looking for clients, was appointed in some cases, was not doing very well financially at the time. It seemed like his career was sliding at that point.
I hope you're not pouring one for me, Mr. Nash. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't cuss.
Well, it's nice to know I'm in such respectable company, but down here it's considered impolite to let a man drink alone.
In that case, just a short one.
Guess you must be pretty worried about your Prince Charming, huh?
You will be able to get him off, won't you? He really is a good person.
Well, with his record, he'll be lucky if he gets 10 years. 15's more likely. It's a long time for a woman like you to wait. Watching the sweet smell of youth passing by. Of course, If you really love him, I guess you'll be waiting at the gate when you let him in. Cigarette? We've done about everything we can. I guess we better be going. Naturally, we'll keep in touch.
What? So soon? I thought you said you were going to help me get out of here. Margot? You ain't going, are you? You going to stick around, right, baby? Man, don't I even get a goodbye kiss?
We leaned forward to kiss through the screen. But just as soon as the kiss was over, I knew that, well, that's the end of us. It's a goodbye kiss. I just knew that I had lost, that things had gotten plumb out of hand. I wasn't going to have an attorney to help me. I wasn't going to have her to help me. Wasn't going to have anybody.
It's almost 7:30. What about our reservations at the Peabody?
They're canceled.
Canceled. Why? Is this about...
You know what this is about. This is about bill collectors beating down my door and a wife who wants $1.50 for every dollar I manage to scrounge up.
Well, I'm not worried about you. I know you'll think of some way to make ends meet.
I already have. I think it's time for us to stop making money the hard way and start making it the easy way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do.
Good evening, folks. What can I help you with?
How about the cash? Come on, you want to live up in the till? Let's go. Come on. Hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up, I don't have all night. There you go. The rest of it. Down there, let's go. Come on, put it in this bag right now. Come on, let's go. All of it, okay, okay. All of it, all of it. Great, let's step out of it. Come on, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
You got it.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, hey, you're not going anywhere, old man.
Well, howdy, baby doll. Tell you what, let me have a half pint of that Smirnoff over there, would you? Shut up. Over in the corner, darling. That's it.
That'll be...
$1.49. And don't bother checking. I've bought a bottle or two of that in my time. Here you go.
I'm out of change. Just a minute.
I need change. I got a customer.
Get rid of him. Don't worry, darling. You'll get used to it.
Tell you what. Tonight it's on the house.
Well, tell you what. I get off about 2 a.m. What do you say you and I get together and we can have a little party?
Not tonight. I'm busy.
Oh, well, sure.
I shot him 4 times and he's still breathing.
Not for long. Come on, let's go.
Hillman Robbins Sr. was 60 years old. He wasn't even supposed to be working at the store that night.
We didn't have these type murders at that time. This was very unusual because they apparently already had the man's money. There was really no need to kill him. During 13 years in all that I was in the Homicide Bureau, well, I believe this is about as unusual a case of any, with the exception of maybe Martin Luther King's assassination.
As the investigation developed in Memphis, Margot and Nash hid out in a motel in Olive Branch, Mississippi.
You know what I'd be doing right now if I was back in Ohio? Absolutely nothing. And look at me now. Bang, bang! And I'm $615 richer. What's eating you now? Aren't you just a wee bit excited? Well, old man, will this excite you?
I think it just might.
Fueled by alcohol and lust for easy money, Freshwater and Nash formed an unholy alliance. When we come back, we'll follow their path of destruction across the South.
Next.
She was able to remove a block from her cell and gain access to a cell next to her where there were male inmates housed.
Headlines echoed the public's outrage at the murder of the Tennessee liquor store owner. But authorities say it was only the beginning for Margot Freshwater and Glenn Nash. With $615 in their pocket, Margot and Nash crisscrossed the Southeast. But within 10 days, they burned through their robbery money and resurfaced again in Oakland Park, Florida.
Nothing in that cash register.
What was I supposed to know? She locked everything up for the night. I knew I should have cased that place.
After the body of Esther Boyer was discovered, witnesses gave police a description of a man and woman fleeing the scene in a 1963 white Ford Fairlane.
Okay, smart guy. You got any bright ideas?
A shopper at Jackson's Minute Market said she saw a woman in the store just prior to the murder. All she had to do was ID Freshwater in a lineup. The couple was done for.
My eyesight ain't what it used to be. No, sirree. I don't think any of those girls is at the grocery store.
God! If I known it'd come to this, I would have just stayed home.
Well, you didn't stay home, did you? You came with me. After what we've been doing, where do you think you're going to go? Hey! Hey! Hey, stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where are you going?
Memphis.
Later that afternoon, the body of part-time musician, part-time cabbie, C.C. Surratt, was discovered. He'd been shot twice in the back of the head. Only moments before his death, cab driver Surratt told a dispatcher that his fare was a man and a woman. Nash and Margot were known to be in the area. Police put out an all-points bulletin. It would take a lucky break to catch Margot and Nash. Police got it. Margot and Nash were seen boarding a bus bound for Greenville, Mississippi.
Police, man. You're under arrest. Stop! You're under arrest.
This is the real Margot Freshwater and Glenn Nash just after their arrest on December 27, 1966. Within hours, they'd be front-page news. The now notorious couple were locked up in the Greenville County Jail. With no separate facilities for women, Margot was placed in the same cell block as the men. While awaiting their trial, each occupied their time in a different way. Authorities say Nash promptly ordered a book on the insanity defense. Margot occupied her time differently.
Margot Freshwater was housed with men, and she created a potentially explosive situation with her sex life. She was able to remove a block from her cell and gain access to a cell next to her where there were male inmates housed.
It's hot in here. Look, give me a beat.
She took advantage of that and, of course, had sex with all of them.
Ruled incompetent to stand trial, Nash was hospitalized for close to 20 years before his release in 1983. Margot was tried 3 times, and according to some, enjoyed the attention.
I don't think there's any question that she enjoyed the publicity, because here she was this young, 18, very extremely attractive young lady. It just kind of drew the news media as a magnet. Here you had a prominent Memphis lawyer, and then you had this young girl, involved in all this hideous crime, and she was very attractive. She was well made up, and I guess that's the ingredients for a good publicity trial.
Margot Freshwater never stood trial for the convenience store murder and got a hung jury twice in the case of slain cabbie C.C. Surratt. But in a third and dramatic trial, Margot was sentenced to 99 years for the murder of liquor store attendant Hillman Robbins Sr. Locked up in the Tennessee State Penitentiary, Margot made friends with fellow inmate Faye Fairchild.
We went to the chapel and we sat on the front seat. And all I remember was talking about an unknown land. And we kind of giggled, because we were planning on looking for it. She said she had been waiting 4 years to find someone that had the nerve to do it with her. And I guess I was the fool.
Margot and Faye hitchhiked all the way to Baltimore, Maryland. There, they went their separate ways.
Well, I just hugged her and told her I didn't want to know where she was going, whatever she did, to be careful. I've never heard from her since.
Faye Fairchild isn't the only one who wonders what happened to Margot. So does Glenn Nash. For decades, Nash has kept silent until he agreed to this exclusive phone interview.
I think that it would be to Margot Freshwater's best interest to go ahead and turn herself in. A lot of time has passed, and there's been a lot of suffering by a lot of people, victims and others, over the years, and it's really time that she give this deep thought and then come in and get this behind her.
Margot Freshwater had served just 18 months of a 99-year sentence when she escaped in 1970. Today, she could be hiding as someone's wife, a mother, even a grandmother. Maybe tonight, you've got the answer that authorities have been looking for nearly 25 years. Freshwater's trial was one of the biggest media events in Tennessee history. Newspaper articles commented daily on her hairstyle and choice of clothing. In almost all of the newspaper photos, she was smiling, seeming to enjoy the attention. Note how Freshwater changed her look with different hairstyles and colors, different makeup and clothes, and her weight fluctuated dramatically. Freshwater was 22 when she escaped, and the FBI has enhanced this photo with different hairstyles to show you how she might look today at age 46. If you know anything about the case of Margot Freshwater, please call us at 1-800-CRIME-TV. That's 1-800-274-6388. Margot Freshwater has been on the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's 10 Most Wanted list since its inception. Tonight, agents are in our Washington, D.C. studios waiting to hear from you. When we come back, a nightmare for the 90s. When both parents work, who do you trust with your kid? January 1988, a code blue emergency. Doctors at Westlake Medical Center use everything in their power to resuscitate a 17-month-old infant.
What's the history?
They say he choked on some food.
At the time of the emergency, the infant was in the care of his nanny, Maria Rosa Hernandez.
Move, please.
Tragically, 36 hours after admission, the infant boy died.
Mrs. Bitterman? Rosa? Nice to meet you. Hello. Come on in.
10 months later, Hernandez was interviewed by Sharon and Jeff Berman for a full-time nanny position looking after their daughter, Ashley.
Oh, there she is. Ashley, come in and meet Rosa.
Do you want to hold her?
Oh, of course.
A reference check showed Hernandez to be an experienced nanny. No one the Bermans contacted knew a child had died in her care. In November of 1988, Hernandez moved in with the Bermans.
Goodbye.
Rosa, can you make my hair like yours?
Yes, of course. Come on.
That's my girl. I'm going to make your hair just like mine.
I felt that she cared for her as best as a caretaker could be. They seemed to have fun with one another. They went to the park, they played. Ashley would always go to the store with us and want to bring something home for Rosa. Everything was Rosa. Her whole life, we thought, was Rosa.
I want to watch cartoons.
I want to watch this.
Well, Mommy says you could ask before you change the channel.
You always get everything. We watch what I want to watch.
There were little accidents in 1990. I get a phone call. I'm sorry, Ashley fell down the steps.
Ashley? What happened?
I fell down.
You fell down?
Which boy hit you?
I don't know, just the boy.
The doctors always told us there was always an answer. Typical toddler bruises. There was always an answer. Ashley had an explanation for everything.
Me vas a entender de una vez.
In April of 1990, she had a seizure. Took her to the top neurologist. She said, there's no reasoning for these seizures. It just happens.
July 25th, 1990. Sharon Berman received the call every mother fears.
Ashley fell down. What? She's not breathing. Not breathing? I don't know what to do.
Hernandez brought Ashley to Westlake Medical Center, the same hospital where the infant boy in her care had died 2 years earlier. Ashley arrived unconscious, suffering from retinal hemorrhaging and brain trauma.
Yeah, she's breathing. Start a nasal cannula, 6 liters a minute.
Amazingly, the same doctor who had treated the infant boy 2 years earlier, Dr. Frank Gillingham, was the attending physician.
Looks like it might be shaken child syndrome. Yeah, the injury was reported by her nanny, Rosa Hernandez.
At that point, I guess it was like being hit by a tidal wave. And there was potentially a connection. So I called the sheriff's department and I said, well, I think you really have to believe me on this one.
Thanks. Where's Rosa?
Well, she left. How's Ashley?
It's okay. She started telling me things and it all made sense. And I said, honey, why didn't you ever tell me? She said, because
she was gonna kill you, Mommy. She was gonna kill you, Daddy, and me if I told you.
She was a miracle. She had a very strong will to live and to survive it all.
Get some sleep.
She hurted me. She poked me in the eyes, banged my head on the steps. She said I did stuff that I'm not supposed to, and I did nothing. She blamed stuff over on me, and that she always does to me.
I'd feel safe because I'd have her in the house. I'd turn the alarm on. I'd feel safe. Little did I know I was locking a criminal inside the house.
Thankfully, Ashley has completely recovered. Doctors say she hasn't had a seizure since Hernandez left. Deputies charged Hernandez with child abuse. Now, Ashley's injuries were so similar to the little boy that died that deputies reopened that investigation and eventually charged Hernandez with murder. Bound over for trial, Hernandez had a baby in jail. A judge ordered her released for a psychiatric evaluation, and promptly she disappeared. A native of El Salvador, Rosa Hernandez speaks broken English. She's described as very polite and always smiling, at least to your face. Hernandez doesn't drink or smoke. She doesn't have a driver's license, so she uses public transportation. Hernandez has scars on her right forearm, pockmarks on the left side of her forehead. Authorities believe she may still be working as a nanny or housekeeper. She may be traveling with her 3 daughters. So please, if you recognize Maria Rosa Hernandez, pick up the phone and call 1-800-CRIME-TV. When we come back, one woman's story of a stolen identity. What would you do if someone stole your identity? How would you prove you really are who you say you are? Well, for most people, a driver's license provides that proof. So what happens when someone else says they're you and they can prove it?
Okay, ready?
August 1990, the Department of Licensing in Spokane, Washington, Diane Perry renewed her driver's license.
Diane St. John Perry. Is this a renewal?
Oh, yeah, but I need a change of address too.
Sure, that's no problem at all.
I wish everyone was as accommodating as you are.
And this will be mailed to you in about 3 to 5 weeks. Okay, next.
Oh my, you have impeccable taste. Oh, I'll need to see your driver's license, of course.
Which one's it going to be? I think I'll take both.
In early 1991, Diane Perry's checks and driver's license showed up in shopping malls around Spokane.
Yes, we'll be happy to honor your check.
You're a woman who knows what she wants. I need a license with that check.
Thank you very much.
Yes, well, I don't know quite how to put this tactfully, madam, but the check you gave us for the gold pendant, it bounced.
I didn't buy a gold pendant at your shop. I've never been to your shop. I'd like to know what's going on around here.
Well, may I recommend you talk to the police?
Within days, Diane Perry received several other calls, each accusing her of writing bad checks.
All I want is to clear my name. Isn't there something you can do?
We've already done it. We've closed the account.
Well, a lot of good that's gonna do me. I didn't have an account here in the first place.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Well, what about me?
You've got some explaining to do, I'm sure, but not to me.
Oh, I don't believe it. Don't you get it? Someone is using my name to write false checks. I am not the fake. I'm the real Diane Perry. You mean to tell me if I were to buy something here, you wouldn't honor my check? Not likely. See, look, this is my signature. See? I use my middle initials. She doesn't.
By now, nearly 100 of Diane Perry's checks, totaling more than $13,000, had bounced. Detective David Richards of the Spokane Police Department began an investigation, armed with a picture of Diane Perry in a photo lineup.
You just take a look and take your time. Now look at them carefully. Whatever you see.
That's the one.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. I wish all my customers made up their minds that fast.
Okay. You're absolutely certain.
Over the 2.5 months that we investigated the case, there were many things that occurred. The most overwhelming evidence was the fact that Diane was chosen out of a lineup by 4 different witnesses.
See, as you can see,
September 12, 1991, Detective Richards and his partner, Sergeant Larry Evans, confronted Diane Perry at work.
So if your license was stolen with all your credit cards, why did it take you 6 months to get it replaced?
I wrecked my car and I didn't figure that I needed it.
And when you got it replaced, I mean, why would you go back 2 months later to get another license?
Well, they like sent me a letter, I think, and there was some sort of mistake or...
Look, Diane, we know you did it.
You're kidding, right?
4 merchants have picked you out of a lineup. Are you trying to tell me that all of them are wrong?
No. They picked me out because I went to their shops. I wanted to explain to them who I was.
You mean confuse them about who you are?
You know, I can understand why you think I did it. I would probably feel the same way if I was in your position. I didn't do it. Unless, of course, I'm schizophrenic.
Are you a schizophrenic?
Look, that's my story.
Her responses when I interviewed her, many things all compiled, led me to believe that she was, in fact, the person who opened this account and wrote the checks herself. We sent the paperwork over to our prosecutor's office, normal process, and they issued a warrant for her arrest.
Diane Perry.
At the booking, I think that's when it really hit me that this was not going to work out. And it was pretty scary being up there with real criminals.
They'll take care of you.
And it actually hit me that I might go to jail. I couldn't believe that this was happening to me. And so I was going up the river. I've never done anything wrong in my life. But even though things looked bad for me, and there were certain things that I was doing naively that were working against me, I still felt that the police department would ultimately find out that I wasn't the real criminal.
Marcia Yep.
As the state began preparing its case against Diane Perry, Marcia Yep went to the Department of Licensing in Spokane to have her license renewed.
Just look at the flag, please. And one more.
Nan Farwell was once again behind the camera. Little did Marcia Yep know that simply by having Nan Farwell process her license, she was giving Farwell license to steal her identity. Except for a single slip-up, police say Farwell could have continued her charade.
There you are, Miss Yep. I'm sure you're going to be very happy with it.
I already am.
The boyfriend of Farwell's daughter was with her that day.
I want to buy her something first. Here.
Check this out. It's a mood ring.
I'll be right with you.
In early 1992, Nan Farwell struck again. Marcia Yep almost paid the price.
I swear, ma'am, I have never been in Gerald Klein.
Oh, of course you have, dear. Don't you remember? I sold you a diamond ring.
You did. You wouldn't happen to remember what I looked like, would you?
Yes, you were short, slim, athletic type, and you had curly brown hair.
I think there's been some mistake here.
After I got that call, I remembered that she had been in with a gentleman that had made a purchase on a MasterCard. So I pulled the sales slip, took his name off that, called him, was able to have him release the information as to her real name and her place of employment.
All right, give me a big smile. All right, and let me take just one more.
Dan Farwell, Detective Richard, Spokane PD. You're under arrest.
When police searched Nan Farwell's home, they found camera equipment, numerous fraudulent licenses, IDs, and a film canister with negatives of dozens more licenses, including 4 of Diane Perry, all discovered just 1 week before Diane Perry was due to stand trial.
If a real lucky break hadn't taken place, if it weren't for Marcia and Jerry at the jewelry store, I would be sitting in jail.
Well, I think I will take these after all.
Then I said,
Yeah.
Today, Diane's life is back to normal. Almost.
We accept all major credit cards and personal checks with a driver's license.
No thanks. I think cash will be fine, thank you.
Nan Farwell pleaded not guilty at her arraignment in April of 1992. Believe it or not, she was actually released on her own recognizance. Not surprisingly, she never showed up for trial. Farwell's 15 years at the Department of Licensing taught her a few tricks. She alters her appearance by changing her hairstyle, her style of dress, and by wearing glasses. These are just a few of the counterfeit licenses found in Farwell's apartment. She dresses well, and as you saw in our reenactment, loves jewelry. Friends say Farwell also loves sports. She rollerblades, rides mountain bikes, and enjoys cross-country skiing. Authorities are convinced Farwell is running the same scam in another city. If you know where Nan Farwell is tonight, call us at 1-800-CRIME-TV. Remember, you don't have to tell us your name. Nan Farwell's 45th birthday is this Tuesday, so be on the lookout. She may have to renew her driver's license. We'll be back with more in a moment, so stay with me. After his 1990 escape from a North Carolina prison, investigators say John Nathan Coakley Jr. went back to the business he knows best, burglary and forgery. Well, tonight, thanks to your tips, this con man's career is over.
He would have so many different identifications. He had so many aliases that you couldn't keep up with him. He is one of the best con men that I've ever heard of. The aliases ranged anywhere from 150 to 250, probably more than that. We may never know.
This is Jonathan Nathan Coakley. He became one of America's most wanted last April. The FBI caught on to his $1 million scam. Police say Coakley hit at least 17 states using over 100 aliases. Police say Coakley's scam worked like this. He'd break into a small business, steal some blank checks, and use one of his many fake IDs to cash them. His latest target was Florida.
He'd go in and scope out a realty business, make sure there's no alarm, maybe even go in and get a business card out just to be able to look around, come back on a Friday night after everybody's gone, either kick the front door in, go in, take checks, cash, money, stamps, take those items out, go back to his travel trailer or his motel room. He's already got his false ID ready, makes the checks out in that false ID, and he's shopping.
Last April, police say Coakley was shopping with bad checks at this Lexington drapery store. He bought $2,000 worth of some very unusual drapes.
Honestly, it was very tacky, the colors that he picked up and left out of here, because my wife and I have been in this trade for 20 years and have not seen anything this nauseating
These are the drapes that John brought to my home, and they're very ugly, but John didn't have very good taste.
Meet Debbie Hattery, the new owner of those stolen drapes. 4 months ago, Debbie unwittingly became a landlord to one of America's most wanted and his young wife, Anna Nunley.
My sister had moved out, and I couldn't afford the rent by myself, and she moved in with me. When Anna moved in with me, all this stuff started showing up, and I was like, Anna, where are you getting all this? She's like, well, John gets it for me. And I was like, gosh, he must have a lot of money. She said, yeah, he has a good job.
And a good job it was. John Coakley made his own hours. Police say brought home about $2,000 a day. 2 months ago, Anna told Debbie the secret to John Coakley's success was on this videotape.
And this is the videotape of America's Most Wanted that John's wife, Anna Nunley, showed me, and I couldn't believe it. I was very upset, and I told them that they had to get out of my house. I wanted no part of it.
Debbie kicked Coakley and his wife out and called our hotline. With her information and an anonymous tip, the FBI knew Coakley was heading north.
Now that's another one.
Last month, he was cornered in Richmond, Virginia, driving a stolen car. Inside, police found the tools of his trade, dozens of fake IDs, a laminating machine, and 2 guns.
You can run, but you can't hide. John Coakley's walking, living proof of that.
Tonight, Coakley's in the Winchester County Jail in Winchester, Virginia. When they finish with him there, he still faces charges in 7 other states. Coakley's wife, Anna, is now living in Florida. She hasn't been charged with anything.